Welcome, and I now will call the board together for the January 27th Sun Lakes HOA number 2 Board of Directors. I would like to ask those of you in the audience today to please turn off your phones or put them in a silent mode. Thank you. This meeting is being recorded for the accuracy of the minutes. The agenda for today's meeting was set at our agenda planning meeting last week. Board meetings now offer the homeowners that are watching it on live stream at home the opportunity to ask questions and address concerns of an agenda item and before a board vote. Also with time at the end of the meeting when we have homeowners' comments. Those watching on live streaming can start sending emails or get started early with questions or concerns. The process will be as follows. The agenda item will be read into the minutes. The board will be given an opportunity to put forth a motion and a second. Our live streaming audience then will have a few minutes to send questions or comments by email to boardmeeting@sunlakes2.com. When sending your questions or comments by email, you must put your full name and where you're located, either Cottonwood or Palo Verde. Board members will then be asked if they have questions or comments. After the board questions and comments are completed, homeowners in attendance will be offered their opportunity to ask questions or comments. The email comments, concerns, or questions will be read by Steve Nolan, who has a laptop here at the meeting. The board will address all emails received. After hearing all the comments, questions from the board and homeowners, then a board vote on the motion and a second of the agenda item will take place. Now that we are through some housekeeping comments, it is finally time to start our board business. We will open with the Pledge of Allegiance, and today, Gay Zawadzki will lead us. We will all stand, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask the board members and those sitting at the front table if they would introduce themselves. To introduce themselves today at the viewing audience. Today I will start with Irene D'Alicio.
Irene D'Alicio, Director.
Don Hicks, Director.
Frank Gould, Treasurer.
Roger Beagle, President.
Kay Zawadzki, Vice President.
Hank Unk, Secretary.
Bud Jensen, Director.
Steve Nolan, General Manager.
Okay. First on the agenda is to approve the December 30th board meeting minutes. These have been distributed to board members. Board members, are there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing no corrections, Can I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed say nay. The December 30th board minutes are approved. Next, we have the president's message. I would like to thank and recognize the management that are in attendance today. Your help and support make this community run smoothly and continue to be a desirable community for active adults. It is greatly appreciated by this board of directors. Today, I would like to ask congratulations to Marshall Reichert and Josh Blackburn for successfully passing the Certified Beer Service exam on their first try. This certification provides the fundamentals to best prepare to sell or service a wide range of beers. I truly hope that all of our homeowners that are eligible for scheduling the COVID vaccination have completed and or will have it soon. I understand that it is not the most user-friendly website, but keep trying. My wife and I had our first shots this week. Both of us are still here. Trust me. The board has announced committee chairs restart their meetings in March. A board workshop is scheduled for February 8th at 2 p.m. in the Sora Room for committee chairs, vice chairs, and secretaries. I'll end with say, please enjoy all your amenities and activities that we have to offer. Next, we have 2 employees for Employee of the Year. Adon Ruelas and Natasha Martinez Wilson. I'm gonna read a little bit of something about them and their work that they do. Adon Ruelas did an amazing job this past year in the common area. The Sun Lakes common area was constantly short-staffed. Adon has most certainly been the glue that held the group together. Adon maintained the morale of the team by remaining focused on a weekly and monthly task. He has been encouraging and supportive of his team. Adon has managed through the challenges of COVID, the challenges of a long hot summer, the challenges of overseeding, and the stress of winter holidays. Adon continues to display a positive attitude. He is incredible when dealing with homeowner challenges. He stops without hesitation to address their immediate needs. He continually goes above and beyond to make sure homeowners' concerns are addressed. Thank you, Adon, for all your efforts and your hard work. The Cottonwood Palo Verde community is better because of you. Next, co-recipient of Employee of the Year is Natasha Martinez Wilson. She has been an employee of Cottonwood Palo Verde in the housekeeping department since November 2017. She has worked her way up from housekeeping staff to the Cottonwood Palo Verde weekend housekeeping supervisor. Natasha is a very involved supervisor, making sure that her crew always comes first. If they need any help or direction, she will stop her work to make sure they are all assisted in any way. Natasha is always one of the first employees that will volunteer for additional work, especially when we have new projects that are ready to open, such as the facilities, the FAC building, fitness activities in the building, the Cottonwood Bar and Grill, and the newly remodeled restrooms. She pays attention to detail in her daily cleaning and expects the same from her crew. Natasha will never ask her fellow employees to clean anything she would not do for herself. She is one of those great employees that all companies strive to find and have as part of their company. She has found her home here at Cottonwood Palo Verde community. Thank you, Natasha, for making Cottonwood Palo Verde and being a beautiful person. a really good job. You'll really be proud of yourselves. Thank you again. Now we are down to Employee of the Month, Alberto Martinez. Commonly referred to as the ninja by the facilities department. The quiet, always smiling, compassionate Alberto excels in everything he does. Alberto takes the initiative to handle a task while professionally performing it. Without hesitation, Alberto assists the painter and whoever else may need a helping hand. Alberto is a jack of all trades and a treasure. Alberto, you continue to do a great job for the HOA and homeowner services. You have a wonderful smile. Your continued enthusiasm and attitude are very much appreciated by your fellow employees, your manager, and our community. You are deserving of the Employee of the Month recognition, and congratulations. Those are 3 great awards. I spent a lot of time making that up. Next up is the treasurer's report. Frank Gould.
Thank you, Mr. President. For those of you in the audience, the last page of the agenda contains the summary results that I'll be referencing in my presentation. This report is for the month of December. The music was a little too early. They're gonna wait till I get to my punchline. Like I was mentioning, this report contains the financial results for the month of December of 2020 and year-to-date actual versus budget. This report shows the net results for year-end 2020. Additionally, this report shows the balances of our various funds and any monthly activity impacting their balances. As with my previous reports, we will be focusing on 2 columns in this summary. The year-to-date actual and the year-to-date variance, which is the difference between the actual results and what was budgeted. And I round to the nearest thousands. In the area of homeowner services, the year-to-date actual is a positive 692,000, which is 387,000 better than budget. Food and beverage, year-to-date is a negative $194,000. However, that is 136,000 better than budget. Golf year-to-date net is a negative $181,000, which is, and for the year it's 207,207 less than budget. Overall, the association, the year-to-date actual is a positive $317,000. A couple of comments I'd like to make concerning our financial results for 2020. Due to the pandemic, our revenues for 2020 were roughly $1.1 million less than budgeted. However, our management team did a great job in controlling expenses, and that led to achieving the year-end positive results of $317,000. Great job. The Hallaberry Games, a year-to-date is a negative $360. Special fund balances are shown in the year-to-date figures, and any activity for the month is reflected in those summaries. All of our funds are are very healthy. Number of homes sold to date through December is 331. The resulting revenue from these sales is $485,000, and that is designated for the Capital Improvement Fund. A copy of this report is available in the admin building tomorrow morning, and if you're interested in reviewing it, please call for an appointment. Questions?
Thank you, Frank. Well, there was. I'm sorry.
Hey,
We'll get, just a second, we'll get you a microphone. You can stand and tell us who you are.
David Hosevar speaking as the HOA2 historian. Year-to-date home sales was 331. While researching, last year's home sales was 321, just for comparisons. We sold 10 more homes. 10 more homes were sold this year than last year.
thank you, Dave.
It's amazing in this market now today. Board members, can I have a motion and a second to accept the pre-audited financial report?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. Pre-audited financial report is approved. This is a reminder for those of you in the live streaming audience to send questions and comments by email to the board meeting at sunlinks2.com. When sending your questions, comments by email, you must put your full name and where you are located in Palo Verde or Cottonwood. Steve, are there any comments that we've received in reference to the treasurer's report?
No.
We'll move on. Brings us down to committee reports. Architectural Compliance Committee, Bud Jensen.
Okay, we of course did not have any meeting, but Joanne and Bill Miller and myself were busy working, and plus our committee members were busy covering their areas as the permits came in. The summary of activities from December 29th through January 25th, 21. Permits approved were 138, permits denied were 0, and permits 2 weeks or past due date remaining up to follow-up were 12. Joanne tells me one of the reasons for these, that there were 12 is because we're shortage of lumber because of the coronavirus, I guess. So anyway, we're working on those to make sure they're done. And there are no recommendations for the board of directors or no recommendations to management. Any questions?
Thank you, Bud. Election Committee, Brian.
The Elections Committee met on 6th of January. There was a quorum. We discussed the change of revenue for the Meet the Candidate event, should we need one. That is now going to be held on the PV patio at 2 p.m. instead of the normal 6:30 p.m. in the evening. Marshall and I have agreed a layout for the event, so we're all set to go for that. We also discussed whatever additional COVID guidelines or restrictions may be needed for the ballot counting day, again, should that be necessary. But no change of revenue for that. That's still going to be in the PV restaurant. Other than that, we discussed the potential for moving our time of meetings to 3 p.m. in the afternoon from 1:30. And our next meeting is on the 3rd of February. Any questions?
I have one comment. Homeowners will probably be interested. Are you having any idea of the number of homeowners that you expect at the Meet the Candidates night?
No way of knowing that. Last year we had probably just under 100.
Woo.
Yeah, but given this year's restrictions and COVID guidelines, I suspect we won't get too many.
But you are planning it.
Yes, definitely. Yeah,
Good thing you had planned.
we have the layout that will seat easily that much,
Okay,
easily that much.
very good.
Okay?
Appreciate it. Thanks,
Thank you.
Brian.
Any further questions?
Dave Hosevar, as a historian, would you give us a kind of a update?
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, the Communications Committee is every year tasked by the end of January to submit, well, there's tasked by the end of January to complete the history of the prior year of the community. Over the prior years, it was Mr. Rogers, Paul Rogers, that had to do it. So this is my second year of having the honor to complete the history. And the first year I said, how do you do it? And Vice President Gay Zawadzki gave me the outline or the template, or not a template, but she says, go through the board minutes. So that's what I did last year. That's what I did this year. So it's just a compilation of going through the minutes and then picking out the highlights. So since I come to all the meetings, this is kind of it's your history, it's your minutes. It's so I submitted it to, it's about 2.5 pages. I gave Roger a complimentary copy. He's been part of the process, but where's Patty? Patty, it's going to Patty. It's been through an edit. She fine-tuned it, came back, sent it back, and it's going to go to Steve and Brian Shaw for final edits. It's going to be published on our website. So we did meet the deadline, and it was an honor to do it. And then Roger will probably distribute it to as needed. But how you find it is you go to the cottonwoodpalverde.com. It's on the, you don't even have to go to the homeowners page. It's on the community button. Hit the community button, and it's on the history. And it's on the second 20 years. And then hit that, and then scroll down. It takes about 5 minutes to find on the website. So, but once you find it, the history is very, very good. If you have some COVID activity, if you've done surfing the web, read the history, all 40 years, very interesting stuff. That's my report.
Very good. And I did read my private preliminary copy, and everybody should read it. It's kind of interesting. Go back and think of when that happened during our year. Thanks very much for doing that, Dave.
I learned there's a lot to remember.
Very good. Thank you. Steve, are there any comments or concerns from the committee reports and the emails?
No, they're not.
There are no other committee reports. All committee meetings have been suspended, but will restart in March of this year. We are now down to project reports. We're going to first have the Palo Verde restroom renovations by Steve Nolan. And Steve, if you want to go finish that and then go into the management report, you're certainly welcome to.
Sure. Jim, can you key up my intro music again? The Palo Verde restrooms have been completed. I've received a number, and so has Marshall, positive comments in regard to the completion of them. We're thankful that project has been completed. Moving on to my management report. Believe it or not, it's been another busy month, and we've accomplished a lot with COVID-19 still impacting us. Jim and Rusty are proud to report that all Christmas decorations were removed and placed into a clean storage area. They repaired and painted a wall near the Cottonwood Tennis Court, number 5. Inspected all emergency exit lights on property, made repairs, and replaced the batteries for them. They cut out a damaged drain line at the PV kitchen sink, replaced piping from floor to the vent pipe, and made the proper repairs. Repaired the Michigan gate above the entrance drive again. They patched and painted and replaced the low clearance hanging bollard again. That has been struck several times, and we continue to repair it each time. Install paper towel soap dispensers at the new remodeled Calvary restrooms. They located the main water line for the contractors at the new pickleball construction site. They started preventative maintenance on all HVAC units, changed HVAC units across property, and have cleaned now all pool salt sets. For the most updated information, please remember to read the flyer and the end of the note. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Another busy month, wasn't it? Next, we'll come down to director's comments, and today we're going to start with Bud Jensen.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, congratulations, Marshall and Josh. I understand you're now experts on the beer that you sell. Wonderful. That's good. That's a good test what you guys are doing. Okay, and Don and Natasha, congratulations. They're gone now. Congratulations on Employee of the Year, and congratulations to Alberta for being Employee of the Month. Dave, thank you so much for the pictures you've been taking for us. We appreciate it. And now you're into pickleball taking pictures. We're done with the Palo Verde restaurant. That's completed. Thank you very much, Dave. And welcome back, Scott. Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
All right, I echo Bud's commendation to our employees of the year and of the month. Just multiple people here this month to acknowledge three employees. Also, I just want to acknowledge, and already Roger did it, or not Roger, but Frank did it to some degree, but that is the positive year-end 2020 budget report. And for the managers, I mean, this was great. I mean, it really reflects directly on you guys. And so I just want to say thank you very much for your service and for your diligent and attention to the budget during COVID-19. Thank you.
And I have no additional comments from what's already been said. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, it's tough to add to what's already been said. The employees of the year seem like, I do not know them, but they're great people, and obviously they perform at a very high level. So it's very good for the community, and the employee of the month is a very nice individual, and he works very hard. I'd like to also repeat for the homeowners that are watching that this past year was great on a financial basis, and I hope you all are proud of living in this community and understand how well the staff performed this year to achieve the results.
It's all been said. I have nothing to add.
I'd like to congratulate our employees of the year of the month. Great job. And we're looking forward to having you continue to be employees of the year of the month. I'd like to thank management for doing such a great job with everything this year. Way back when all this started, I had visions of us bleeding money and having these huge numbers in the loss column of our finance stuff. But you guys really, really held it together. But I think too, we need to thank our homeowners because you were there to support us. Marshall did a great job with handling food and takeouts, and all of our homeowners came to help us out. I know that I did more than usual, bought groceries. Also, I didn't want to go to the grocery store, but it was a safe way to fill your larder, as it were. And you were there in line waiting for all this great food and these groceries, and I just think it was great that you helped us out. We couldn't have done it without you and without our management.
Thank you, Board. Now this brings us down to agenda item number 12, Capital Reserve Replacement Fund. There are none. PD Gate Fund, none. Capital Improvement Fund request, there are none. Voluntary contribution fund, there are none. Under old business, none. Under new business, this is the board's tab number 2. This is to approve the updated Sun Lakes HOA number 2 organizational chart dated January 7th, 2021. May I have a motion and a second to accept this recommendation for management?
So moved.
Move second.
Are there any questions from the board members? I forgot to say something. Those in the live audience, if you want to send your questions in to boardmeeting@sunlakes2.com. Any comments from homeowners? Steve, I'm going to ask a very short question, but are there any emails in reference to this organizational chart?
No.
We have a motion and a second that is on the floor. All those approved, say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed, say nay. Motion is approved. The next item is first readings. This is your tab number 3 in the board book. This is to approve the changes to board policy 9-09, campaign political signage. Now, homeowners, you need to understand, this is to be put into first reading. To view this suggested board policy change, go to our Cottonwood Palo Verde website, then the homeowners only tab, and the tab look for first readings, items under consideration. Board, we're going to put this into first reading, so there's no vote to be taken on this. Next, we're down to homeowner comments. This is a reminder for those listening at home to send your email questions to boardmeeting@sunlakes2.com. When sending the questions or comments by email, you must put in your full name and where you're located, Cottonwood or Palo Verde. Any questions or comments from homeowners in attendance? Steve, by chance, do we have any emails? I'm going to have you speak up. I'm missing your hand. Thanks for letting me know.
David Hosevar, homeowner and candidate for the board of directors. What is the content of that change for that signage? Since we're in the political, it may affect people running for the board.
Well, now,
What's that?
it will not, because we don't vote on it until next month.
Right, but if signs, if people are gonna be purchasing signs,
You do it as the board policy reads now.
okay, so will not have any effect on
There's no change on those signs.
24 by 24 signs.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong on that, Irene, is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. Basically, the basic change was that we had to bring ourselves into compliance with Maricopa County ordinances for total signage on the lot, and that's basically what the change,
Okay,
what motivated our change.
So,
thank you.
yeah, it will be in first reading.
Yes, be sure to check that out, you got 30 days.
All right, because I didn't see anything on the, okay, thank you.
It won't be on
See it
first
on the
reading.
website.
It doesn't get posted until after this meeting, so you won't see it until tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Any other questions? Steve, are there any emails with homeowner comments?
No emails?
Board members, do you have any additional comments? For those of you watching on live streaming and those in attendance today for the January 7th HOA board meeting, thank you. And I wish everyone to stay healthy and safe. This meeting is adjourned.